Welcome to That 80s Show, the show that peaked in high school. Dori, is that fair to say?
I mean, I did not peak in high school. I peaked at university. I was a serious nerd in high school. So, but, I mean, it depends when you were in high school. You see, I was in high school in the 80s, but you were not.
No, I was not. But listen, rather to have peaked early than not have peaked at all. Like maybe you're still waiting for your peak. And you know, if you're still waiting for your peak, you know, everyone does things on their own schedule, Dori. So don't let us, I mean, if you feel peak shamed at this point, don't be. This is the 80s show.
Don't be peak shamed. No.
Don't be peak shamed, okay? It is the 80s show. It is, this is a loving place. It is a caring place. How are you, Dori?
Not a safe space necessarily, though.
No, not a safe space.
No. Yeah, I'm alive, Paulo, as I say every week. Just celebrating that I'm still here.
Dori, like Madonna, just happy to have made it through another week. So we start. Oh, Dori, I got to tell people got a new segment this week called "What Happened in Our WhatsApp Group," and I've got to tell people, go with me on a long story. Go with me on this journey. So It starts yesterday when we share the news about Frank Farian passing away. Okay.
Right.
Now, Frank Farian, if you don't know, was the guy who made first Boney M. Okay. He's a German German music producer, right? And he was this first guy who kind of cottoned onto the idea of creating manufactured pop, right? Manufactured pop groups. So he creates Boney M. Okay. And that's his first kind of like the good way to start, I think.
But can you explain what you mean by creates?
Well, like literally created them. Like he created them.
Yeah,
literally.
Like he sang and made them pretend they were singing.
Well, yes. 2 points, but yes. So, I mean, this is like literally manufactured pop. He was a singer himself. He had a hit in the Schlager charts. He was a Schlager singer, had a Schlager hit. And then he creates Boney M, right? And what a great way to start. And yes, very manufactured. People chosen as much for their look as their singing talent. And he goes, we'll figure out the rest, right? Very electronic. We know computers are going to fix the things that don't work. So that's what he does. Kind of has a hit with Boney M, and then he repeats the formula. He has a band. He then creates a band called Far Corporation, which I've never heard of, right?
I have heard of Zeppelin. Them. Yeah.
Okay. Far Corporation. Yeah. He works with Meatloaf. He then repeats his formula with Milli Vanilli. Okay. Kind of huge fans, huge topic of the show. And then does a couple of like Euro disco bands, La Bouche, Le Click, Eruption, and then No Mercy, right? We remember No Mercy from the 90s, high school.
Do we?
Remember it.
Okay.
Where do you go? Ding, ding, ding. Remember when there was that Latino explosion in pop? Okay. Remember?
Yes.
It was yes. J-Lo, Ricky Martin, Enrique Iglesias. They were the big ones. And then you had No Mercy, All for One, who were like the Latino Boys to Men, right? So we had that moment.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what he does. Let's go back to Milli Vanilli, right? So the last time you and I would have spoken about Frank Farian is that he was in the Milli Vanilli documentary. He's definitely painted as they leave you with the impression that he was the villain, right? So he's done great things, gave a start to a lot of people, but very much leave it with going, this is the guy that kind of like victimized or made Milli Vanilli the victims because they were
exploited them.
Exactly.
Yes, exploited them, came up with the idea for the deception, the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, he had done it before. He'd been doing it with Boney. And I'm not saying Boney M lip synced. I'm not saying they didn't sing. But I'm just saying that this formula.
No, they didn't lip sync. Right? They was just singing while the guy danced and didn't even move his lips. Nobody questioned it. It was the 1970s.
Dori, nobody questioned it. We weren't cynical. And Dori, listen, do not speak ill of Boney M. They send our friend Barrett Christmas messages.
We love Boney M. We love you.
Love Boney M. So Frank Farian very much seen as the enemy, or left as a villain. So in our minds, we're going, oh, villain, because then obviously then he ruined Milli Vanilli. He moved on. Kind of the record companies, everyone let them take the fall for it, even though they were just the face and everyone else came up with the idea. And then of course Rob from Milli Vanilli, falls into a pit of both of them. Drug addiction and Rob eventually taking his own life. And obviously, you don't know what would have happened, but surely, worldwide public humiliation doesn't help.
Yeah.
He also worked, Frank Farian claims he turned down, Michael Jackson wanted him to work on his Dangerous album, and he turned him down. He also worked with Stevie Wonder, I said Meatloaf, and Terrence Trent D'Arby. So we're sitting there thinking, he's enemy, bad guy. I was going to open up the show talking about, one of the enemies. The enemy of the show is gone because he victimized Milli Vanilli. But I'm very conflicted here because here is a message written by Fab Morvan from Milli Vanilli. My condolences to his family. His music will live on. We can never deny the happiness and joy it brought into this world. So, of course, you're not going to be the guy who's not going to wish him, the guy gave you a career, So
also, he's just being polite and the bigger person because that he was raised well.
And you can also, if you read that, you can never deny the happiness. I mean, he did bring happiness. Of his music it did, not him. But anyway, so Fab comes out and says it. So we're like, okay, that's Fab saying. Then I'm going, I don't know what else to think, because I was reading some of the tributes from various people, and I go, I'm very conflicted. And I send a message to yourself and Barrett. I said, I'm very conflicted about the story because so many people, including TA, have posted loving tributes. Right? So I go, because I saw this on TA's Facebook yesterday. So I'm like, surely you guys know TA. So you respond, TA, you don't know who TA is.
Nope.
Then goes a few messages back and forth between you and Barrett saying, is it TA, is it Tori Amos? Is it Tim Allen? Barrett has a fly.
Is it tits and ass? I didn't ask that.
Do you still, right now, at this point in time, not know who TNA is an abbreviation for?
Absolutely not. I even asked, I was in the office with the young kids, and I thought maybe this is someone I don't know because it's a young thing or I'm out of touch. And I asked everyone in the office, everyone, including our friend Ryan, who's quite in touch with music. Nobody knew.
But, if you listen to the show and people are big fans of that 80s show, right? And I'd assume you're quite a big fan of that 80s show. You show up every week.
I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it.
You listen very intently.
Yeah.
I kind of go, we've been on this journey. We've been friends. Do I have to type out such person's full name? Right?
Yes, clearly, because I still have no idea. I went through everyone who, you would think, obviously I know who you're talking about, right? AR would be Andrew Ridgely. RA would be Rick Astley. GM, obviously George Michael would not be posting things on social media. I couldn't think of a single person who it could be.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Because, Dori, if you look at your running order, please see who TA is. I can't believe that you did that. It has taken this long. Like, you not having me on.
I'm really not.
So TA posted.
Anders.
Yes.
Why
Thomas
didn't you
Anders
just say my best friend Thomas Anders like you always refer to him?
Well, I was in a rush, and he posts, one of the greats leaving the world stage. I like to think back to our encounters and conversations, whether on many TV shows on our shared favorite island Ibiza and Formentera, in Frankfurt or Berlin, or also most recently at my concert in Miami. You are gone, but your music remains immortal. And there's Thomas Anders. Looks Thomas Anders, early 90s with Frank Farian, Thomas Anders' wife. I think it's still his wife. So Firstly, I feel conflicted because Thomas Anders obviously is greatly affectionate for Frank, right? And it would make sense because they're both from the world of Schlager. They're both from that little world of Germany. So it makes sense that they're friends, right? But little did I know that it would lead me to the confusion that you did not know that Thomas Anders is TA.
I did not think of it. I did not.
Okay, well, Dori's still waiting to peak.
Clearly.
That is a segment. That is a segment called "What Happened in Our WhatsApp Chat." It's very interesting.
Is it though? Is it that interesting?
Okay. I want to wrap up something from last week because we had the conversation. We were talking about Three's Company last week because of my movie recommendation starring John Ritter as a superhero. I
still haven't watched. I haven't watched.
Don't even know. I was watching because I told you can watch it on YouTube, and I watched how many views it had, and I went back every day to see if it got one more view, and it got 0 more views. And you know what? I'm not just disappointed with you. I'm disappointed with the whole audience because there's a movie I get for you. It's free, and there's me watching it every single day, and no one watched it. Not even one view. Okay, so
hang on. If you're watching it every single day, why are your views not being counted? Oh, because you've already watched it.
I didn't watch it, so I didn't click play. I just went to go watch the views. I just kept checking on the views, right? Okay. So we noticed, or we remembered that John Ritter's character in Three's Company, we reminded ourselves was a chef, okay, which I don't remember that being a thing. Like I say, I thought he just had...
When you said it, I kind of remembered.
You did remember in your mind's eye. Because like he was very pervy. So I was like, chefs aren't pervy though. Chefs are like Gordon Ramsay-ish. This is pre-Gordon Ramsay.
But we never saw him chefing. We always saw him at home.
Oh, yeah. So he obviously wasn't a very good chef. Not in demand. Okay. So then I went to, you asked me, what job did Janet have? And I was like, I actually don't know. So I went to go do a bit of a Google for you. So remember Three's Company, odd couple, 2 female roommates looking for a third roommate, and John Ritter comes in. Hilarious. It's the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. There's a guy. They're hot. 90% of the show was him walking in on them in the shower. Okay.
Did he pretend to be gay in the beginning so he could get the spot of roommate? Because that would make sense to me. Does
ring a bell. And then, of course, the landlord was I did not know Mr. Furley and Mr. Roper were 2 different people. I thought it was the same person.
They look kind of similar. They look kind of similar, but not the same. Mr. Furley was a little bit more wiry somehow.
Yeah. They both loved a safari suit, loved a neckerchief. Loved a neckerchief and a safari suit.
It was the late 1970s, yes.
Joyce DeWitt, who played Janet, the brunette, shorter hair, she was a florist. That was her job, florist. Okay. And then Chrissy, played by the late Susan Summers. Of course, we're talking about late John Ritter as well. She was a secretary.
Okay.
Playing to the 80s stereotype, blonde, dumb secretary. Sleep with the boss. So that was them. Now you know.
Huh. But we never saw them at their jobs. We only ever saw the apartment. I don't remember there being any other setting than that apartment.
The bar. There was a bar they used to go to. Yeah. And then Mr. Furley or Mr. Roper's apartment. His apartment.
Right.
But yes, so they went to the bar. I do remember Janet being a florist. Now that I think about it, I do remember seeing her with flowers. So it's correct. It's correct.
Was it set in Miami or California?
Santa Monica.
California. I remember it being very beachy and summery.
Well, in the beginning, remember that they were on the boardwalk.
Winter things.
No, in the boardwalk, they'd roller skate down the promenade, put ice cream.
Yes.
And John Ritter.
Of course.
Everyone in short shorts, booty shorts, everyone doing it. So, and knocking on doors. Everyone just knocking on doors. Okay. Someone who was knocking on a door and got herself kicked off an airplane, you not a fan of such a person, Samantha Fox.
Like, when did this happen?
Now, I found numerous versions of the story, and the one salaciously said, 80s lesbian singer kicked off flight. And it's like, what's that got to fucking do with anything?
Also, doesn't narrow it down. Okay, hold on.
Right? So I was like, okay, that's unnecessary. So Samantha Fox, obviously 80s music legend. What are her songs? She was very sultry.
Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. That one. That's the only one I remember.
Oh, yeah, I want your body. I surrender to the spirits of the. I surrender to the spirit of the night. That one, yeah. But all is very sultry. She was pin-up. She was saucy. She was Nicki Minaj before Nicki Minaj, right?
Okay.
So she spent the night in jail. This happened on the 21st of January.
Oh, wow.
Hot off the press. Hot off the press. Being detained for an alleged drunken incident on a plane. The model, lesbian, and musician. Why does it point that she's a lesbian? What's the point?
I mean, I literally didn't even know that. Now. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. Was on a
Maybe
British
she was sick of all the men ogling her assets, you know.
Maybe. She's like, it's not the 80s anymore. Heads down. She was on a British Airways flight to Munich when she allegedly got into a fight with another passenger. Okay. The plane was on the runway, getting ready to take off. And due to the alleged incident, it turned back and returned to the gate, and she was reportedly kicked off.
Do you think the other passenger touched her? And
yes.
I mean, and then when she complained, but you literally asked us to all those years ago.
You've literally been asking us to do it all the time. I mean, that's what you want to do. I mean, if you're an 80s icon with a very evocative song, you want to get into trouble for the instructions you gave in your song, right? I mean, it opens up the whole question of Elton.
She was in Charles in Charge. I don't remember that.
Do you remember any of Charles in Charge?
No.
Besides
Scott Baio, right?
That's it.
I remember Scott Baio, but I don't remember anything else.
No one remembers Charles in Charge. That's it. So Samantha Fox getting, touched on an airplane and then just touching people with her fist. And now she's in jail. And, it's cool.
No, she's spent one night. One night. She's not still there.
And airport jail. Let's be honest. You're not going to go to real jail. Heathrow's miles away from anywhere. It's like Sun City Jail. You know what Sun City Jail is? Not the jail Sun City.
Yes. No, I know. But
so there's a resort in South Africa we've spoken about many times. A lot of 80s bands used to go to perform there because it wasn't technically South Africa in the 80s, and it was a loophole. So it's this great resort, got a water slide park. It's fantastic, right? It's got massive, loads of different places to stay. And they have a dry out tank, basically. It was a Sun City Jail, which is, there are 3 types of accommodation at Sun City, right? So you get the hotel, okay? Then you get
main hotel.
You get the palace, which is like super hotel, super fancy hotel. Then you get the vacation club, which is kind of like little holiday homes scattered around. And then you get the cabanas, which are smaller units, and they have sliding doors. So everyone else is more like a hotel room. This is sliding doors. Sun City Jail is one of those, but there's a trolley door over the sliding door and chairs. And you sit there till you're sober. And that's Sun City Jail.
Is this also for people who are caught cheating in the casino?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Then you get taken to a place called Freddie's Dungeon. And that's the dungeon that Freddie Mercury had specially built when he used to come to South Africa in the 80s. And they put you in there and they blindfold you and they say, feel your way out. And you're like, oh no, it's parts are furry, parts feel glittery, parts are there's just holes. And that's Freddie's jail. So don't cheat. They're going to put you in Freddie's dungeon. Okay. Specially built, Freddie Mercury in the 80s. No one knows about it.
No response to that. Zero response to what you just said.
Nobody knows about it. So Samantha Fox probably spent the night in a holding cell. If you go to Sun City, and you and you go to the Luries and they catch you smoking weed, they're going to put you in Sun City jail till you not high anymore. Okay, so that's and that's not my story. That's a story of a friend of mine. Yeah, okay.
I imagine so.
The latest of there's Dori. Do you follow like the Sundance Film Festival? Kind of like happens now. Being to independent
not much,
films.
I used to in my youth, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, Sundance Festival. Or they go pitch all the new movies. They go pitch the ideas, new films. Like but very
look. If a film
cool.
does well, at Sundance, I'm more inclined to give it a chance.
Okay,
because I think the audiences are discerning.
Yeah. Okay. So we spoke a while ago about Pauly Shore. Lifelong dream wanted to make a Richard Simmons movie, biopic.
Yes.
And Richard Simmons says, no, you're not going to do it. I don't want this done. I want a private life. He kind of like retired from life. He's just like retired from public eye. So he's not given Pauly Shore his permission to make the biopic. But Pauly Shore's out at Sundance pitching it anyway. Because Pauly Shore looks Pauly Shore looks a lot like Richard Simmons back in the 80s. Same crazy hair.
Yes.
So it's always been met with
the same face. I mean, it's not only the hair. The hair can be done artificially. Like they have similar faces. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a saga that's been going on for a while. Okay. Because while Pauly Shore is out there, he's created a short film on this as kind of, I suppose, as his pitch, as like work, proof of concept. And he says that he has received a text from Richard Simmons wishing him good luck for the screening.
What, so you was that sarcastic or was it genuine?
He's summoned. He's submitted, right?
Okay.
But then Simmons wrote on Facebook. Richard Simmons wrote on Facebook, you may have heard they may be doing a movie about me with Pauly Shore. I've not given any permission for this movie to be made. So I don't believe everything you read. I no longer have a manager and a publicist. I just try to be peaceful and believe in living a quiet life and doing 3,000 glute squats a day. I may have added that last part.
I think that last bit is not true. So now what's up? What's Pauly doing? Like what's going on?
Pauly Shore responds. This is a saga.
Oh my God. Okay. I mean, the story's not over.
We're interested in it. TMZ are interested in it. Huffington Post are interested in it. I mean, all the big publications, like all the big people, the massive, all that's massive. We want to know. Pauly Shore says, E.T. Entertainment Times, not the Alien. Entertainment Times.
Entertainment Tonight,
maybe? Whatever is definitely not E.T. Okay? Every day is different.
You drink?
Energy Times?
You just you're confusing me with acronyms this week. I think you need to stop with acronyms.
Have you heard of this band called ABBA? Have you heard of the song called YMCA? Okay. So
right.
Pauly Shore responds, every day is different. You never know what he's going to say the next day. I love Richard, but I'm kind of just feeding off the people online who believe that I look like him, so I wanted to play him. I hope that he sees the short and what we want to do with it, and he will change his tune. I adore him and love what he represents. This is why we want to do it. No response yet from...
Probably do... So I wonder if it's that Richard Simmons doesn't want any movie made about him, or if he doesn't specifically want Pauly Shore to do it. Because I think Pauly Shore, he's always seen as a silly actor who did silly films, but I think he could pull it off. I really do. I have faith in him. I met him.
Because
cool dude.
Yeah, met him too. Great guy. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Same place.
Yeah. So, like, you and I are Team Pauly. Like, we're definitely Team Pauly. We thought we could be Team Richard, but instead we're Team Dr. Phil Jaffe, right? True fitness guru of the 80s, right? Yes. The only fitness guru of the 80s. So we're like, that's a good point you raise, because he goes, I just want to, I just want a quiet life. Yeah. But what if it was, for example, Richard Shamalama, that young guy who's so hot right now?
Timothy.
What if he... Timothy Shamalamalam, right?
Yeah.
Say his real name. What's his real name?
It's either Chalamet or Chalamet.
Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
Let's use Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
What if Ryan Gosling,
He's so hot right now.
so handsome, if he wanted to do a Richard Simmons movie, would Richard Simmons go, yeah, cool, I'm down with that. I'm Ryan Gosling. I'm not Pauly Shore.
He's a proper actor, real actor.
Real actor, handsome.
An actor's actor, yeah.
That's it. So that could be the reason. So Pauly Shore is going to make this anyway. It feels like he's going to look, I'm doing it.
Would he dare to upset Richard Simmons though? Would he?
Here's the other thing. You said earlier, oh no, Pauly Shore, Biodome, Birdie, did all the stupid movies, right?
Jury Duty.
What if Jury Duty? You know, sometimes you get like an actor who does a role, like Will Smith when he did The Unbearable Likeness of Being. Was that it? Anyway, whatever.
No.
He did something like that.
I'm going to give you a better example. Owen Wilson's first movie was a serious drama where he played a serial killer. It was brilliant. And then he went and did all silly things after that. But
so kind of like that. But I'd prefer that he's known for silly first and then does the serious stuff. But yeah, same point. We like get each other, right?
Yeah.
What if this is Pauly Shore's moment? What if he does such a great biopic? People go,
that's what I'm saying.
Shit. Like, I didn't even realize it.
I think he could do it.
So we're back to Team Pauly.
Of course.
No, we will know. We will know. It's made. It's out there. He's shopping it. He's at Sundance.
I'm sad that Richard Simmons is still kind of doing the hermit thing. And I mean, unless it's making him happy now, but he's been doing it for a long time now. Because he was the opposite of a hermit for most of his life. And then suddenly someone flipped a switch. Something flipped a switch.
That's the movie. But that's what the movie will explore. What happened?
Well,
it's not going to be
there's a whole podcast about it. There's no explanation for it.
Yeah. Maybe Pauly Shore knows. Because Pauly Shore's connected in Hollywood. His mother was owned the premier comedy club in LA. Like everybody came through his mom's comedy club. That's him. That's his story. So maybe he knows.
Maybe he should rather make his own biopic.
And in the biopic, he talks about how he knows what happened to Richard Simmons. Genius. Did you ever watch that documentary called Pauly Shore is Dead?
No.
He made a movie a couple of years ago, like this mockumentary. It wasn't really a mockumentary, where he put out a press release, and this is kind of like just pre-ish social media days, early internet days, that he died. Okay. And then they go around trying to get people's reactions. It's hilarious. People know who he is. They couldn't care less. There's Hollywood people that like fake sadness. It is brilliant. It is so good.
It's the opposite of that docu I told you about where Jason Bateman thinks I'm dead. But
yes.
It's kind of the opposite idea.
So 2003, he did Pauly Shore is Dead. So good. Which brings us nicely into our movie recommendations for the week. Dori.
Yes.
What are we doing?
We're doing a very, very, very new movie that has two very significant 80s nods in them. And I think it's worth discussing.
All right.
You might have watched it. It's a new-ish movie on Netflix that actually is from last year. It's a movie called No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. Have you watched it?
Oh God, I hated that. My word.
No, it's a terrible film. Terrible.
So bad.
So many problems with it. But there was that scene where the kid plays man-eater at the piano. Did you watch that part? Did you get that far?
I did. You know, it's a comedy movie. I don't know if you want to describe what it's about.
Wikipedia describes it as a sex comedy. Now, coming from the era of movies like Porky's, would you agree that this is a sex comedy? Because I don't know so much.
So we're going from the era of Porky's Revenge of the Nerds into American Pie. Like this is our reference points. Like that's the bar. And think of
Right.
what those movies, what you will. Think what you will. For what they were hilarious and they worked.
Right.
If this is what sex comedy is now, I don't know what either sex or comedy is anymore.
Did you enjoy the Jennifer Lawrence's full frontal nudity in the movie, though?
Yeah, was it her though?
I don't know. Do you think it was AI?
Or a body double?
A body double, but I mean, they put her face on it because you could see her face. So I don't know.
Oh, Dori, the things that they can do. Jennifer Lawrence is like a list. She's not doing full
That's
frontal
why
for Netflix.
But she was also, remember that whole iCloud hack when people's nudes were revealed? Wasn't she on that list? So she's like, everybody already seen it. Doesn't matter.
I'm
going to Google it. Did Jennifer Lawrence use a body double for No Hard Feelings?
You do understand now that your search history is screwed because the only part that Pornhub's going to find is Jennifer Lawrence nude body double. So now you are going to get some very interesting things.
According to the article, she did not use a body double because she's already been nude in some other movie and she was like, whatever. Like, she didn't care. So there you go.
All right, I'll go watch it again just to make sure it's her.
You got to previously bedded. Yeah, you got to check. She had previously bedded all in Red Sparrow, marking her first full frontal nude scene. And when I said it was a terrible movie, it is a terrible movie, but it's watchable. It's a watchable terrible movie. As long as you don't expect it to be great, which I wasn't expecting it to be great. So I kind of didn't hate it. I hated parts of it. There were parts that made the biggest plot holes ever, but it had moments that were like, okay.
So what the movie is that there is a nerd, right?
Yes,
like a really geeky kid, high achiever, but still a virgin. So his parents, and this is where the plot line is very 80s, the parents hire somebody to bonk him, but she's not a prostitute. Exactly. She's just trying to get money for her grandmother's house. Like, so, okay, fine, whatever, justify yourself. Very 80s
plot line. And of course, Paulo, as you would have expected, there was a lot of controversy around that. There was a lot of people complaining. Yes. What if the gender roles were reversed? What if the gender roles?
Yes, it is. It is creepy. Yeah, that is creepy.
Absolutely. But I mean, this kind of thing in the 80s is very common.
No, normal. It was on Charles in Charge. They didn't. Charles in Charge didn't even need him. No. Sure, nobody knows. No one watched it.
Sure. But yeah, look, it's a watchable. It has some terrible. Don't think of it as a comedy because it's not really. It's not that funny. But yeah. One of the articles I read about it is like there's actually, if you really try and you look deep, there is some depth if you like really scrape that terrible surface. And there's like all things about like perceptions of virginity, and there's issues that it's bringing up, and it's like, what matters and how people relate and what does grown up mean? What is I don't know. What is a deflowering? Like, because many will say that he actually changed her more than she changed him. If you want to like go the soppy route. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Do you know?
Just saying, there's like some depth.
Trying to find some depth in this movie is like, remember when there was the craze of those 3D pictures and you just like look at them and it's 3D. Oh, look, it's an elephant. And then someone would show you like, fuck. Oh, there it is. And they so badly wanted you to see the elephant. Like, there is no elephant. It's an elephant. It's an elephant. Like, or like me when I look at stars. People, oh, there's a Big Dipper. Oh, there's Orion's belt. Like, I don't see it, dude. I don't know.
Okay.
You can point all you do.
That's fine. I'm willing to let that go. I just want to mention the one other 80s nod in the movie. Matthew Broderick stars as the kid's father. He is pretty much unrecognizable now.
Lovely hair.
Would you like his hair's looking good, but it is
his hair's
Snow White hair. I mean, I suppose, we all age. It's just like, wow, if I hadn't seen his name on the credits, I don't think I would have gone, oh, that's Matthew Broderick. I just wouldn't have recognized him. He's an architect or an engineer or something like that. And then all his ways, like, he looks like a sex guru, but like a sex cult guru.
always wears lots of white, loose-fitting linen and with the hair. So maybe that's what he is.
Right.
Maybe I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch Matthew Broderick, the sex cult guru, than that movie you watched. It's a very bad movie. Don't watch it, children.
There is one scene. Just go to YouTube and type in "No Hard Feelings, Man Eater," and that scene, because I actually think it's a lovely version of the song. The young boy, the nerdy boy, plays a very, very trimmed down, I can't say acoustic, I suppose acoustic, very like simple version on the piano, and he sings Man Eater, and it actually has a whole different vibe to it, and it's actually it's a beautiful song. And I've never thought of the song as beautiful before, because when you hear the original, it's like, it's just, this is a cool tune. But then when you hear it all stripped down the way he does it, and he does have a good voice, he's also a singer. It's actually one of the things he does. He's an actor and a singer. So he can sing. And it's just, I really enjoyed this scene. And I was watching with my kid. My kid was like kind of half watching. And all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, this is actually, and it was like this, I much prefer this version of the song. It's like, yep. It's, I wouldn't say I prefer it. It's a very good rendition.
Okay.
So
I'll give you that. Because I don't, no, but just watch that though. Just watch
that and the full frontal nudity scene of Jennifer Lawrence.
One we can post on our Facebook page, that 80 Show essay. One, I'll post on my personal page. It's probably already there. So my movie this week is remakes. We spoke last week. Should it be remaking 80s movies or 80s properties? I went for a remake because it's the 41st anniversary of this TV show. So they made a movie of it recently. And I was like, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it because I haven't watched it in a while. And I love the franchise. I love the property. So there were the big five in the 80s. Okay, the big five, they were shows. And part of me thinks that they actually one night each at 7 o'clock on SABC, one of them was on every night of the week. For this is how I remember it, right? So your big five were Magnum, okay?
Friday
Tom
night.
Selleck. Was it Friday night? I remember MacGyver's Friday night. But anyway, the segment isn't called What I Remember TV Shows to Be On. Okay, so Magnum, they remade that. Not good. They had the Ferrari, had the guy, had the shorts, not Tom Selleck, even had the little like island hopper helicopter. So did that. So Magnum, one of the big five. Airwolf, huge. Loved it.
Maybe
never made a
night? Not sure.
Never made a movie. Yeah. Never made a movie. Or any theatrical release. Let's say a theatrical release, because when I get to others, they have made movies, or they'd put like 2 episodes that had a continuing storyline over 3 weeks, and it's like a movie duration, but it wasn't theatrical. So you had Airwolf, you had MacGyver. Okay, MacGyver. There were movies we discovered a few weeks ago, made for TV movies.
You know what?
MacGyver
was Friday night, and Magnum was Saturday night. I think.
I see.
I don't know. I'm just. You see, you made this a thing, so now that's all I can think about is what night. I know that Knight Rider.
MacGyver was Friday. MacGyver was Friday.
MacGyver was definitely Friday, and Knight Rider was definitely Monday.
Yeah. So we just got to figure out in betweens.
I think Magnum might have been Saturday, huh?
Makes sense to have been Magnum on Saturday. Makes sense. So you had MacGyver, no movie, remake. They remade it. Or it was like a follow-up with his kid. The other of the big five was Knight Rider. Monday night, as Dori said.
Yeah.
They did a movie later on, okay, in a couple of years after the show, made for TV. They did a remake. No good. Very short-lived remake.
Yeah.
But the final of the big five, which was actually my favorite of them, right?
Yes.
No movie back then. Remake. That's what I'm talking to you today about. The 2010 movie of the A-Team. The remake.
Okay.
So
Why
the A-Team.
That was also Monday night.
Could have been Monday. Did we have a double header?
Possibly.
Did we have a Monday night, Knight Rider, A Rider, Night Team double header between the news.
And then MacGyver and Magnum on Fridays. Maybe Airwolf was on Saturday. I don't. Okay, I need to let this day of the week thing go because that's all I can think about right now.
If you have,
okay, I'm stopping.
A U magazine or a personality magazine from the 80s somewhere in your house. We all know it. Okay, we all had hoarders in our family. Somebody listening has a personality magazine with the TV guide. The TV times. Anyone got the TV times? We need the TV times. Check those schedules. We've got to find out when this happened. So the A-Team, 41 years ago this week, came out for the very first time. Now, if you don't remember the A-Team, it was about a 1972 crack commando unit, which was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles Underground, Dori. The Los Angeles Underground, this is the A-Team story. Today, well then, they were still wanted by the government, and they survived as soldiers of fortune. Now, if you had a problem and no one else could help, and if you could find them, you could hire the A-Team. That was the plot of the A-Team. I just summarized that. They never used that anywhere in the show. Back in the 80s, there was an A-Team. I loved the A-Team. 4 A-Team members, of course, we had Hannibal, we had B.A. Baracus, we had The Face, and we had Murdoch. So in the 2010s, they had always threatened to make an A-Team movie. Always, but rewrites never got to it. And I'm kind of glad that there was this space, this time between the TV show ending and the movie coming out. Now, I put on the movie the other day. Now, it came out in 2010. So 2010, I would never have watched it at the cinemas because it would have come out in June, July. And 2010 in South Africa, we're going to soccer matches. We aren't watching movies in 2010. Now, forget about that. We're watching soccer. I wanted to watch it. I actually bought this on DVD. I've got the DVD here in my house. I've got it. Even though you're taking a very treasured childhood franchise, treasured. I love the A-Team. I went to, when I was in preschool, 5 years old, one of the girls I was in preschool with, she had a birthday party. A-Team were there. I'm sure I've told the story. The A-Team were at a birthday party. Okay? They were there. Do you believe me?
No.
Well, they were there, Dori. I don't have the photos, but the A-Team obviously hired some guys who were going around to parties dressed as the A-Team.
Okay. Oh my God, impersonator. Right. Oh God. Okay. Wow, that's commitment. That's something you would do.
Now, I'll do this now. But now, in my childhood state, I'm like, oh my God, the A-Team is here. Did they smell of booze? Probably. Were they sleeping on the bench that morning? Probably. In my childhood naivete, I'm like, oh, A-Team. Now going, oh no, they definitely stank of booze, definitely. But anyway, so the A-Team was there. So the A-Team movie from the 2010s, they were going to make it. They threatened to make it for years. They only eventually get into production to make the movie. Now, the cast is killer, Dori, and I'm actually glad they waited because there was enough time from the movie that it could feel fresh and that they could recreate. And that's what I loved about it so much because they didn't try to ham them up as the 80s guys. And A-Team was super hammy. It was really, really hammy. So in things like this, you can either go super hammy like Starsky and Hutch, the movie remake did, or you can go, okay, we're going to treat this lighthearted-ish. We're going to have fun, but it's not going to be serious. So the cast was Hannibal was played by Liam Neeson. Fantastic Hannibal. Fantastic Hannibal. I'll tell you one thing.
I don't find him fantastic most of the time, but I'll take your word for it.
He's no George Papard. I mean, he's not. None of the guys are the originals, but they're good for these guys, right? So they kind of over-egged him saying, I love it when a plan comes together. It was a bit much. Yeah. Because
Did he say it in an Irish accent?
Oh, it's a very weird accent. The accent does a lot of heavy lifting. It's all over the place because, they're American, but his accent never doesn't even fly over.
Never managed to get it. No.
Never gets it right. So because in the A-Team, the TV show, whenever they'd have a plan, it would come together and they go, I love it when a plan comes together. And you're sitting there, oh my
While smoking a big fat cigar, usually, he would say it.
It's the 80s. I'm 8 years old. This is amazing. This is I did not think that plan was going to come together, but it did. He loves it. So, this is the best. Face is played by Bradley Cooper.
Yes, I remember this now. Now that you've said Bradley Cooper.
So at this point, Bradley Cooper was still stud muffin guy before he started doing more serious stuff. Massive pecs. Huge pecs.
Yes.
Massive pecs.
Yeah.
He's faced. South African, Sharlto Copley. He plays Murdoch, right? Doesn't really matter.
Right. Huh. He's cool.
He is very cool. Did District 9. He did Elysium. Chappie.
Yes, I loved District 9 and Elysium. I love them both.
Yeah. Done loads of other stuff, done really well for himself. Does a South African accent in the A-Team as a disguise. Fantastic Murdoch.
Right.
And then, now this is tough. This is a tough one because B.A. Baracus is played by Quinton Jackson, who not really a actor, more a UFC fighting personality. And then they hire him
because I don't know who he is. Okay,
he's the tough one. He's the tough one because the thing you're going to do with Mr. T or B.A. Baracus, that I keep confusing them, is because no matter I tell you what, no matter what idea the casting agent, the casting crew of the A-Team had for what B.A. Baracus looks like, when Mr. T walked in, they went him. If they did not deserve, they went him. Whatever it is, tear it up. That's BA. Forget it. And they're the same. BA, Mr. T, same thing. So you're really swimming against the tide. He's the one that let me down. But of course he would. I love Mr. T. So he let me down. But still good. So
do you think there's anybody who could have pulled it off properly? Or just no, sorry, there's no substitute. That's it.
So if I have to go along the lines of because the rest of the cast are really strong, and he's not an actor, especially not at that level. I mean, you're talking Liam Neeson and you're talking Bradley Cooper. Those are real powerhouse actors. He doesn't hold it. I think like a Jamie Foxx could have done it. I would like to see Jamie Foxx or Mr. T.
Big Mr. T. Mr. T look. What, Mr. T still looks good and young and all those things?
Jamie Foxx pretty big. Jamie Foxx is as big as Mr. T was then. So anyway, that's the only thing for me. So listen, the story is like an A-Team type story. But
it's like a movie length A-Team.
Movie length A-Team set, more modern, and so they're not Vietnam War vets, they're Afghanistan War vets. They do secret missions, they're set up, they get kicked out, they go on the run, they got to clear their name, they clear their name. Jessica Biel's involved somehow. My wife says, I don't know why Jessica Biel feels like she could be annoying. I said, I get that. She's married to Justin Timberlake. I imagine they do dances in the house and TikToks. And that's a whole thing. Okay. But then the part comes that you know is going to come. Are there cameos of the original cast in the A-Team? And they are.
Are there?
Post-credit scenes. Okay.
Okay.
But very disappointed. So obviously no Hannibal. He's here, not in. Dirk Benedict, who played Face, he regretted his cameo, saying, "You'll miss me if you blink. I kind of regret doing it because it's a non-part. They just wanted to be able to say, oh yeah, the original cast are in it, but we're not. It's 3 seconds. It's kind of insulting."
Yeah.
Thought I liked this movie.
I think if they had been in the movie, then they would have been okay. But to put it in the credits, even if it was longer than like a second, it's insulting. Yeah.
So Face Man's not happy. Dwight Schultz, who played Murdoch, he said the film pays homage to the series while it excuses its essential working premise, a band of capable military brothers for hire determined to save underdog and usually poor civilians from scum. The team characters are sufficiently different, and with so many roles reversed from the original one, you could say that they're not really derivative, save for their names.
He's trying to be nice, but he's saying, this is some bullshit. Yeah.
Listen, when you see the word derivative in some sort of movie context, you know it's bad. Dori, you studied film, right?
I know.
If someone says your movie is derivative, oh no, that's not good.
That's it.
It's not
Throw
good.
it in the bin. Throw it in the bin.
He said that
Sharlto Copley?
His Murdoch is faithful to the original, but at the same time is big screen twisted and right at home with the new team. So, like you, hate the way you played the character. Tough.
Okay.
And Mr. T just didn't want to be in it. So I'm not going to be in it. So I ain't getting on no. No, I ain't not getting on no cameo. I pity the fool who tries to put me in a cameo. That's his statement. I pity the fool trying to put me in a cameo.
Did this movie do well?
So, box office. It fell slightly short of expectations, only earned 26 million. Okay. Which is not great because a lot of money had been spent on this movie.
I'm sure that's way less than what they spent to make it.
Yeah. So no, it didn't do great. But I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
That was going to be my second question. Did you enjoy it?
No.
Are you recommending it?
I enjoyed it. I'd say watch it. It is fun. It's all the stuff. It'll remind you. What it'll do is it'll make you go, I'm going to watch the A-Team on YouTube. Which I did so that I can bring you the 10 most interesting episodes of the A-Team. Do you want to hear that?
Oh, God. Sure.
Okay. So
Okay.
in the A-Team, the episode was called Mind Games, right? Where Face gets a full government pardon and then becomes a celebrity going on talk shows and everything. But they keep an eye on him because they suspect that the pardon's not legit. In this, hilariously, Murdoch feels that the A-Team's not the A-Team without Face and becomes Face. Hilarious. Oh, how's this episode? Some muscle men make a big mistake when they try to force BA's mama out of her apartment. Pity those fools.
I don't remember a single episode of the show.
No, you won't. You won't. I could be making all of this up, but I'm not. Another episode, Murdoch is kidnapped by bounty hunters that hope to use him as bait to lure the rest of the A-Team. When the team arrives to rescue him, they find he's fallen in love with a veterinarian that's helped save him. It's so Murdoch. Murdoch.
Oh my God, okay. Yes.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Someone sabotages a car at a local stock car race and attracts the A-Team's attention because the car belongs to Hannibal's nephew. Don't mess with the A-Team's B-Team. An episode called Members Only. Face's chances of getting to his exclusive country club are severely hampered by the A-Team's battles on club property with a crooked bank president. You know the A-Team. That doesn't end well. The A-Team on country clubs, not going to work. Beverly Hills Assault. The A-Team goes uptown and gets involved with an art dealer who has been replacing original painting with fakes. Not good. The episode called Double Heat. The A-Team is called in to find an accountant's daughter who has become a pawn in a game between two rival mobsters. Okay, this is A-Teams. Why I loved it. Another episode.
Was it the A-Team that Boy George was in?
Well, Dori. 2 to go.
Is that on the list? Okay. Just checking.
I'm counting it down. The A-Team comes to the aid of an auto mechanic being driven out of business by a ruthless competitor. The A-Team did everything, right? From mechanics to sabotaging to kidnaps, they didn't care. If you had a problem and no one else could help, you could call them.
Yes.
Episode called Curtain Call. The A-Team reminisces about an injured Murdoch as they look for a doctor and try to avoid pursuing Decker. That's kind of like just like a best of Murdoch episode. And here it is, the best episode of the A-Team ever, called Cowboy George. Face believes he's booked country singer Cowboy George into one of the roughest dance halls in the Southwest, but his agent friend delivers Boy George instead. What a romp. What a romp.
I'm going to have to eventually, at some point, watch that full episode. It's going to have to happen.
Oh, the A-Teams, they're on YouTube. They're all there. You got to watch it. And if you want to watch the A-Team movie, also it's easily to get, or come to my house. I got the DVD, so you can come rent it from me. Only R5, but please rewind when you return it.
Rewind the DVD.
We've spoken so nonsense, and it's so much nonsense. It's time to start wrapping up, but I do have a story that we do have to end with. She's in the news. I mentioned her up front. Madonna.
Yep.
Oh, we spoke about her last week. Madonna, she's doing a new tour. It's stories all the time. The time. Madonna she's getting
I love
sued.
your title.
In a segment called Papa Don't Sleep, Madonna is being sued over a late concert start by fans who had to get up early the next morning. It's class action suit for everyone at a celebration
I'm
show
with the
because it
fans.
started
I'm with
late.
the fans. And yes, it's because I'm old too. I might not have cared if I was 22, but I'm not. And she should know that her fans they're not going to stay up late anymore.
She was supposed to be on stage at 8:30. She only came on at 10:30. Listen,
oh my God, that's bedtime. It's bedtime.
As an elderly lady, what are you doing up that time? Did you have a nap before? Like, why are you up? But the one complainant, because the concert, they only left after 1 a.m. Note, did not leave at 10:30 when she came on late. Just did the concert. Just, fuming. I'd love to be in the mind of these guys. God damn it. It's Madonna. I hate waiting for her. This is terrible. Like a virgin. By the time they left after 1 a.m., they were left stranded in the middle of the night and confronted with limited public transportation, limited ride sharing, and increased public and private transportation costs.
Yeah.
It affected their ability to take care of the family responsibilities the next day.
I mean, they shouldn't have been going to a concert during the week.
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. So they're suing her because she says she's got unconscionable, unfair, and deceptive trade practices, and it's a wanton exercise in false advertising.
Look, 2 hours is ridiculous. I think I would forgive half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, but beyond that, 2 hours. 2 hours is insane. That's crazy. No, don't accept it.
The thing is here, so we've raised a couple of points, and let's do legal. Let's be lawyers now. Let's see what's happening.
Can you play the theme song to LA Law, please?
I'm going to slam my boot quickly.
Slam the boot.
Right. Okay. Did they slam the boot in the beginning or the end? Anyway, boot slammed. Here's LA Law music. There we go.
Okay.
You buy tickets for a Madonna concert, and it's during the week. You know it's during the week, okay? It's not deceptive. Yep. You bought the concert tickets during the week. And you see that it starts at 8:30. Didn't say it's starting at 3:30. Didn't say it's a daytime thing. It's saying it's starting at 8:30.
I'm assuming it's starting at 9:15. I am.
Safe to say, you got to give an hour. No one's ever on time, except for the 100% retro guys, ran on time.
Yes.
Right? So these are two things you know. You know it's in the week, and you know it starts late. You also know concerts, right? You know concerts. Easy to get into, bad to get out of. Any concert in the world, everyone leaves at the same time, right? So you also know you've got family responsibilities the next day. So you, as a responsible adult, should be going, let me just sort out whatever, or just suck it up. Just suck it up.
Or take the day off, or suck it up. Those are your options.
That's what I'm saying. Send the kids to stay over at somebody. If they got school, suck it up, right? So for me, this kind of falls into the pit of going, I'm the judge, and I'm going, am I the judge or am I the lawyer? What am I doing here? Who are we?
You are the lawyer representing yourself.
Okay. Well, somebody needs to make a judgment here. So someone throw the case out.
Okay, I'll throw the case out. 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 Damn case.
Damn. Good, thank you. I feel satisfied because you knew what you're getting into. That's a good case. That's a good defense of Madonna. Like, I don't know who she's got defending her, but...
Look, I'm not trying to defend Madonna, but these people are idiots. Sorry.
They are idiots. They are morons. Madonna has enough to deal with. She has
to hold on to the pole. She can't even balance on stage.
Exactly.
Now you're asking her to be there on time.
No, man. Do you think those jumpsuits just put themselves on? They've got to be put on. No, but listen, there is some very unflattering photos of Madonna on this concert going around. I don't know what the purpose of going to watch Madonna and then all you're going to do is troll her. I don't know who wins out of that. We get it, but what are you doing?
Yeah, the people who had to wait. They're like, fine. You make me wait. You'll see. Guess what I'm going to do now? That's revenge.
Tori, you spiteful. Jeez. Gee whiskers. I didn't realize you're this spiteful. Wow. Be on time for Dori. This is a lesson I've learned today.
They're obviously grumpy because they're tired. They didn't get enough sleep. They're grumpy.
Do you think when they woke up the next morning, they're kind of like, oh, I had a good sleep. I'm not going to sue Madonna anymore, actually. It was a bit of a silly idea.
No, they were like, I'm never going out on a weeknight ever again.
That's the lesson. That's the lesson. It's not Madonna's fault that you're old. We can blame her for a lot. And we do. I mean, really. It's all her fault.
We do.
But, I mean, come on. It's not her fault you're old. Oh, what a fun show, Dori. I hope everyone has enjoyed it as much as you and I did. This has been that 80 show. Everything we spoke about.
I don't actually care if nobody else enjoyed it. I did. That's what matters.
I'm at the board. And you know what? If you don't enjoy it, blame Madonna.
Yeah.
And if Madonna calls, and if Madonna, how did that sound? Anyway, blame Madonna. It's not our fault. Blame Madonna for you not enjoying the show. Everything you heard today can be found on That 80 Show SA on Facebook. Don't watch Dori's movie. It is really not good. And if you get sent a message that says, do you want to go watch TA when he comes to South Africa or SA, Thomas Anders, TA Thomas Anders. Okay, so Dori, for next time.
I'll never get it wrong again, ever.
Okay. Thank you. That's really good. And I hope that soon we can go watch PSB. Them PSB.
Oh, that would be cool. I'm hoping to watch DB later this month. And there's just no way to do this. OMD.
It's done. Goodbye, Dori. Bye.
Bye.